that shit up. Hey, Breezy, cut 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 that shit up. Hey,
All right, all right, all right, all right. What's going on, family? I'm your gracious host, Dr. Juice, back in the building. I'm trying to look for all my, should have all my captions in here. I'm not sure why I don't have them, but hey, we'll see. There we go. All right, all right. I'm your gracious host, Dr. Juice, in the building, back again on this gracious day of June 27th, 2024. So, yeah, we're back in the building again, and we'll have a few of our panel guests popping in on us, kind of chopping up this heavy game with us about illegal immigration energy. And this is a topic that I've been wanting to discuss for a while because I feel like a lot of our people in the foundational Black American culture don't think that illegal immigration affects you. But I'm here to say, man, and I'm that new black media, I'm gonna be a voice for you, even though you don't understand you need the voice. But this is $150 billion issue, $150 billion issue a year. So I'm bringing this hot fire information to you because you got to understand that this crisis at the border does affect you. And I know y'all think it's political. No, this is economical. This is a socio-economic problem that's going to keep you in deprivation. What can you do with $150 billion a year? Just imagine if Black Americans, we're in a discussion right now with a lot of the leaders in Washington about giving reparations for the foundational Black Americans who suffered slavery and their ancestors and that lineage of people that are now in America being affected, economically impoverished by this issue. So, yes, slavery did play a big part in your economic position right now in America. And sometimes I hear a lot of folks make the argument about, oh, well, uh, Latinos shouldn't have to pay back immigration because I meant to say they shouldn't have to pay back reparations because they weren't here and they didn't enslave Black Americans and such and such. My answer, or you have a lot of our European, Anglo-Saxon, white immigrants who came here in the early 1800s. Oh, well, that was my ancestors. I had nothing to do with it. Yes, but you did. What did happen? You were passed down wealth that directly derived from enslaved labor. So that wealth that's in your family now, yes, you owe. If you're taking that wealth and you're prospering now and you're making more and more millions off of that free earned labor wealth that you accrued from your family, that was passed down from your family as a white American, yes, you owe reparations. Yes. And if you work for a company and you are a Hispanic or any other immigrant that's here in America, and you are working for that company, let's say, for instance, the cotton, right? We know that the cotton gin and cotton was a big factor in the power and the structure of American society right now. Cotton was king. So, what do you think happened to a lot of those companies or those slave plantations when they were allegedly couldn't enslave Black Americans anymore? What do you think happened? Do you think they gave the wealth back? Do you think these companies moved out of America? Or do you think they changed their names to companies like Fruit of Balloons, Hanes Cotton, different cotton manufacturers? And how about the tobacco and cigarette companies? They change their name to Newport, or did they just move out of the country because they came here and benefited directly from slavery? And so if you work for any of these companies, or you have worked for any of these factories like the car dealerships and what have you, all of these people are responsible and directly have a responsibility and accountability to pay reparations, cash reparations. And don't even get me started about the land. So let's pivot back to immigration. Okay, immigration. So let's talk about it. Okay, let me read you an article right here. Let me see if I can pull the article up for you guys. This is in Newsweek, and this came out February 2nd, 2024 from Newsweek. And this article reads, let me see, I'll pull the article up for you guys because you know me, man. I like to give y'all that hot fire information so you can read it for yourself. All right, let's see. Here we go. Okay, it says ongoing border crisis. December of last year, microcosm of much larger issue as President Joe Biden aims to recapture the White House in crucial election year. This issue is a $150 billion share between federal and state governments, and that's just 1 year. Since the inauguration of the President Biden on January 2021, over 3.3 million illegal immigrants have been released into the let's see, immigration integrity. We got our Professor Voss joining us. Immigration integrity, security, and enforcement, which is costing taxpayers billions at the federal state levels. A report issued by the committee mid-January says that Biden administration has, among the things, dismantled interior immigration enforcement to allow illegal aliens to remain in the country, which is contributing to the growing costs borne by U.S. taxpayers. A separate study issued by the Federal for American Immigration Reform Fair quantified the monetary side of the burden. Migrants wait to be processed right here at the border. If you can see them right here in this photo, family. So yes, it affects you. And it says, okay, Newsweek reached out, yada yada yada, arriving at the figure by subtracting estimated $32 billion of tax contributions made by illegal immigrants. FAIR Fair said that the economic impact would have otherwise been $182 billion. In 2017, the U.S. spent roughly $116 billion on legal immigration, suggesting that the problem is a growing problem. To contextualize the number, the 150.7 billion spent on illegal immigration last year is more than the total gross domestic product of Mississippi, New Mexico, and Idaho. And there are the totals. With illegal immigration now costing $150.7 billion annually, the burden inevitably trickles down to the taxpayer. Individually, the FAIR study found that illegal aliens or the U.S.-born child cost the U.S. $8,776 annually. So that's, I'm guessing they saying that's per human. I mean, the American taxpayer is paying roughly $1,156 per year. That's what you're paying toward. That's your cost for immigration, and you don't even have a say so about it. So that is crazy. I just wanted to share that with the family real quick while we chop up this thing about immigration, man. Y'all don't understand, man. I'm telling you, listen. Y'all gotta understand, man, that just because you want to stick your head in the sand does not mean that you are beating this problem or you're avoiding this problem. So we got our professor in the house, and we
Hey,
just
hey, Dr. Juice. Can you
all
hear
right.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you good. You're real loud. You must have got your new microphone.
No, I've been talking loud because Thursday is always my lecture day, so my voice is a little higher. But
Okay.
I'm trying to find you because I want to share. I always share Urban Matters Live with my people, and
Right.
I don't see you streaming anywhere, sir.
You don't see me screaming anywhere.
Not on Facebook. I'm trying to find you. Let's see.
You
Yeah,
could try me at Juice Johnson.
yes, sir. That's where
It
I'm at
says
now.
I'm streaming.
No, I don't see you. I want to share this. The last one that I have, you had a post 3 hours ago with Vicky Planet. That's the last thing that I see here. Let me refresh. I always like to share this good content with my students and my people,
Make sure I'm screaming.
our
Okay, you
people.
make sure. Thanks for that update, man. Because I
Yes, sir.
definitely want to get. I
You might be
definitely want to
bothered by
get.
yourself.
I definitely want to get this message out to everybody.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I'm live, bro. Juice Johnson.
Are you live on your page?
Yeah, on Juice Johnson. Yeah, I should be live on Early Matters too. If not, I'm gonna share it right now to
Yeah, I don't see
Urban
you
Matters
live.
group.
I don't see you live nowhere, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got me live 11:52. I mean 11 minutes and 52 seconds
On Juice Johnson.
on Juice Johnson. Yes, sir.
Wow. Yeah, let
Let me
get
show
on
you. I
that.
can even show you, my dude. Let's see.
Don't show me that because I don't see you. You know,
Okay.
I always like to, man, when Dr. Juice go live, man, I want my people to be
Yeah, I'm
plugged
live,
in.
man. I was just trying to chop it up with the family real quick. I got a little engagement at 7 o'clock. I got to get ready for, so we can chop it up till 7 o'clock. Let me show you. I'm definitely live, bro.
Let me pull it up again here.
Can you see that right there? I'm sharing it with you now on the page.
Wow.
See me right there? See I'm live?
Yes, sir. Yeah, well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I wish I could get a link or something for you, but hey,
yeah,
I can. When we finish, I can just put that in there and share.
Unless you know what it now, unless the powers that shouldn't be are blocking my channel, you know they do little janky stuff like that.
Well, that's another concern. That's another concern because these two old white men are gonna go live and they don't want nobody to talk about it.
All right. They don't want nobody to talk about it. Absolutely.
Nothing surprises me, Dr. Juice, but
yeah, man. So like I was just, I had a discussion and it just came up to me and the ancestors told me to have a discussion about this on the platform. I was just riding this morning, handling some affairs, some business I had going on. And I just see, man, everywhere I go, man, it's like the Latinos and all different types of immigrants. You go to the airport, they everywhere. They're taking all the jobs. And I know you can chime in on that with us, Professor, and kind of give us some insight on this is just the beginning of this. If I'm hearing this right,
I'll tell you what you do.
These people are coming to replace you.
I'll show you something. I'll share my screen if you want to talk about. These are the people that you don't see. I ain't mad. I don't have no emotion about it, but I want to show you. All right, let me. I want to show you my students. Share my screen. I'll show you my students. If you want to talk about immigrants, I can do that. Hold on. You see my screen, Dr. Juice?
Let me see. Hold on.
I should. You should see my screen.
Okay,
now.
there you go.
All right. So this is today. This just happened today. To show you a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
These you see these people that I'm flashing on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You see these people?
Yes, sir.
All right. You were talking about the people that you were riding around at the airport. I'm just flashing them on. You riding around. These are my students. These are my students in Vietnam. Okay.
Wow.
Then you ask yourself, well, Professor, why, how are you teaching in Vietnam? Well, I'll tell you, here's some more of my students. I like this one right here. I got to go to Vietnam, man. That one. But anyway, so she's a sweet student. So here's the thing, Dr. Juice.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what's happening. Those students are working on their master's degree. Why are they working on their master's degree? They're working on their master's degree because China is running the U.S. companies out of China. They're relocating to Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand. My daughter's over in Thailand right now. Taiwan, to work for these United States companies. All right. Now, watch this. So let's look at the average American who want to get a job. Let's look at Atlanta. Let's say I'm a young person. I ain't gonna say I graduated from Morehouse. Let's say I graduated from another school like Georgia State. And now I got my master's degree. I'm living in Atlanta. The average apartment rent in Atlanta is almost $2,000 a month, Dr. Juice. Then I got to have me a nice car. I can't have no hoopty driving in Atlanta.
All right.
I think the other day you told me that the average price of a brand new car, I got to have a Hellcat. That's what the young people call it now. So I got to have a Hellcat, Dr. Juice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm paying $750. They tell me that's a cheap Hellcat. And then if I'm under 26, I'm probably paying like $600 a month for insurance. So now I got a $2,000 apartment. I got a Hellcat with insurance. That's $1,300. So now I'm at $3,300, Juice.
Yes,
I ain't even eat. I ain't got the food yet. Right?
Right.
Those people that I just showed you, they work for a fraction of that. And guess what they get as a bonus? They get a bowl of rice. And they got a master's degree. So here's what I'm saying. So now I'm wondering, and a lot of people come to me, a lot of black kids, they're trying to find I can't get a job. I can't get a job. Well, that's part of the reason why you can't get a job, because number one, when you look at what happened during the pandemic, okay, the country was shut down. But you had essential tasks, essential work that still had to be done.
Yes, sir.
Before the pandemic, management was leery about letting you work remote. Why? Because they wanted to micromanage you. They wanted to look over your shoulder. I want to see what you're doing, Juice. Now, when the pandemic came, everybody was forced to stay home, and now everybody's open to remote, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got empty buildings all up and down downtown Atlanta. Downtown Atlanta is a big homeless shelter. Why? Because the people still at home. They got empty buildings. So what I'm trying to tell you again, I'm talking about digital transformation again, Dr. Juice. You talking about with these immigrants, you talking about digital transformation. These folks are cutting their costs. Digital transformation, artificial intelligence, generative AI. I know I sound like I'm doing my lecture all over again, right? It's all what I'm talking to my students about. It's about reducing costs and increasing productivity and managing your operation efficiently. Those three things. So why would I pay you $80,000, Dr. Juice, when I can pay somebody with the same education, but less money and more efficient? Why? So that's where we at right now. That's where we at now. Now we B1. We black. We talking to black people.
Black first, yes, sir.
We black first. So black people get mad at me when I say this, but you got to, it's really a little too late now, but black people are gonna have to pivot. You are in a transformation. You look back at this as a historical moment. Just like when the internet, when the internet came commercial in the early
2000.
early 90s. Internet became commercial. Yeah, internet became.
Oh, I thought you was talking about the 2K time. 2K bug.
You're a little ahead of me, Dr. Juice.
Okay.
So you had the internet, it came commercial. Then when you got up to Y2K, we were paying programmers $95 an hour. Okay? Mm-hmm. But we had to get it done because the sky was going to fall if we didn't get everything converted. So what did we do?
Right, I remember that. That was hilarious.
Right. So what did we do? We went and got, and I'm not trying to offend nobody, but you got Indians and Asians. They're if you will, they're the Mexicans of IT, if you will. They're doing all the grunt work. They're the IT migrants, if you will. So when I have young black people come to me and say, "Oh, professor, I want to get into cybersecurity," I don't advise that. I've been in IT long as most of your audience been living. You're gonna have to pivot. You're gonna have to. Now, here's the good news. I talked to you earlier about this program that we're gonna roll out with digital products and all that. So we got some things to help your audience with economically. We'll get to that. But right now, you really got to take a hard look at what's going on from a global perspective, not just what you see. Not what you get. So you got all of these people now that you don't even know the number. They're working for American companies offshore. So what you got to start emphasizing to your people, I'm talking about like right now, you got to pivot. You got to pivot because I'm going to just tell you, you might think that you got a comfortable job and things been going good for a couple of years. Let me tell you something, bro. Management is looking at how they can cut costs, first of all, and increase productivity. That's where we at, Dr. Juice.
Absolutely. Thank you for that insight, Professor. It's plain. I mean, the writing's on the wall. And that's why I was just saying earlier, man, it's like our folks think that by putting their head in the sand and by ignoring this, that they're going to be able to avoid this. I was on the phone with a constituent. I don't know if it's a phone call or maybe we were on a Zoom call or something. And we were having a discussion of how important digital transformation is. And when I told him this, it's like I was speaking literally in Chinese because it went in one ear and came out of the other. He did not understand what I was saying. He didn't understand the concept of why I was saying it. It was like I didn't even say it. And he just zoomed past it like I didn't even say it. And we were kind of going back and forth about numerous topics. And I'm like, I'm trying to hash away, and I'm trying to keep it moving, Professor. Man, this is a lonely road. Our people don't get it. And it's like,
I'm gonna explain it to you again. And I want to go on record. I want the world to know, man, about me. When we talk about religion, and I talked about this in our last live, when I talked about the last 5 decades. I'm going to ask you so I won't say it because we both said it. I'll ask you a question. Well, you were born around 1970, so you don't know, but I'm going to ask you. What, in your environment, in your community, in your city, in your county, can you tell me about any education that's black outside of church. Anything outside of church.
You mean that's black owned or
I'm
black
talking about education.
organized?
I'm talking about education. I'm talking about education. I'm talking about education.
You saying somebody black that's
Any type of, all I'm saying to you, like if you listen to, I think I sent you that Tony Brown clip, where Tony
Right.
Brown said that we gave up ownership for integration.
Integration, yes, sir.
The only institution that was left was the black church.
Yes, sir.
So I'm asking you, are any of these churches, you know them better than I do, are they educating their parishioners anything outside of Jesus? Anything.
So you're saying specifically the church. You're not saying just any other black organization or any other white. Hold on, let me finish. I'm trying to clarify the question you asking me.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Does it have to be black owned and operated, or just any type of organization that's trying to teach outside of?
I'll take, at this point, Dr. Juice, I'll take anything, dog, cat, monkey, gorilla, anybody, whatever. Who?
Right.
Who?
I mean, they have a few organizations through the high school and through charter school system that like tutoring programs. I know another young lady, she's a black educator, and she has her own tutoring business on the side. Also, another man named Calvin Marion, they call him CLM Learning.
I know him very well.
Okay, so it's very few, man, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So all I'm saying is, your constituent that you were frustrated with, he missed all that then. He missed that.
Yeah, he did.
He missed that. See, it still boils down to education. It boils down to institutional education. Now we can narrow it down to institutional education.
Mm-hmm.
See, I go back to Roosevelt. When you had Roosevelt, somebody at Roosevelt would have taught you this. If you'd have came out of Roosevelt, you would have known. Why? Because we had black teachers that cared.
Yeah.
You had your own institution.
Yeah.
Now, why do I hop on the church? I hop on the church because the church is what started Roosevelt.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Missionary Baptist Church.
Right.
So then if you're going to have a church, then you got to look at the information. You know, they talk about, you know, the spiritual stuff, but what about these things that people need to know? And they're being blindsided, bro. They're being blindsided.
Wow.
So there's only going, in my opinion, in my professional and academic opinion, there's only going to be a small percentage of black people that make it, because your competition is global right now and you don't see it. I just showed
Don't even see it coming. Don't even see it coming.
Listen, you were talking about the Latinos. I'm sure.
No, not just the Latino. I'm talking about immigrants, period. If you go to some of this border crossing news and you pay attention to a lot of these illegal border crossings, man, they got Haitians, they got Vietnamese, they got Asians coming across. Last week, they caught 12 terrorists on the terrorist watch list coming out of Sudan, coming out of Iraq, coming out of everybody in their mammy is trying to cross that border right now, family. And they're not telling you this on the news.
Watch this. Okay. So let's talk about my law enforcement side of the world, right? Let's talk about Alabama. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Macon County, Alabama. Okay. So the other week, I was in Macon County and I saw a project no different from Sunrise. It was a housing project. The violence, the shooting, the murders, The drugs were so bad that the state shut it down, cleared it out. At the same time, we just got a Korean auto parts manufacturer, the first in Alabama, $128 million. They're hiring at the rate of $14 an hour. Guess what's going to happen, Dr. Juice?
What's that?
The black people that used to live in those projects, they gone. Half of the men in jail. We got some in our jail. You know what they're going to do, Dr. Juice? The government is going to subsidize remodeling that project that they kicked the black people out of. Them people you talking about. The government is going to subsidize them to live in where black people used to live, and they're going to get the jobs at the auto plant. And they're going to live the American dream. That's what's happening. Same thing's going to happen in Lake Wales. In Lake Wales, they're going to, you got 3 housing projects. If you take the time to read the CRA plan, you and the rest of your constituents, you're labeled as cost burden, low income residents.
Oh,
What
yeah, I
does
know.
that mean? Y'all don't pay property taxes. So you know what they're going to do? Mark my word. They're going to give the black people vouchers to get out. That's on the table. You'll see. And they're going to move those other people in to work at that pipe plant. Watch. Y'all screaming up and down, oh, we don't want this, that, and holler pop. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And that brings me to my next point.
All right.
You're not concerned about this, family, about all this immigration, this illegal immigration, much less the immigration that is completely legal. These folks are coming to replace you. Look at my lips. Do you understand the words that is coming off my lips? You are being replaced.
Yes.
So while you're sitting here helping all these laws get passed and these slaps on the wrist and all this legislation that is kind of being passive about allowing these illegals to come here, you are writing off your own self-destruction. You are voting your self-destruction. If you vote for a party that supports all of this illegal immigration, you are writing off your own demise. I hope you understand that. I'm looking at you directly in eye to eye, family. You are being eliminated, replaced, deleted. That's what that means. Okay, you see how tough it is already for your family right now with the prices of inflation, Bidenomics. You see it, gas. You see what's going on at the pumps. You see we're at the middle of 4 wars right now. Man, I was talking with another one of my constituents, and we were having a discussion about Bitcoin, digital currency. And I was trying to get him to see that all of this is part of that plan. I told him, I said, bro, digital currency and Bitcoin or any type of cryptocurrency is a Ponzi scheme. The American dollar is already what they call a fiat currency. You know what a fiat currency is, right, Professor? It's a currency that's printed. It can't support itself because it's not backed by anything. It's not backed by anything physical, like gold, like land, like oil. We back our currency by our military and weapons. You can't sustain a GDP that way. You can't sustain the value of your dollar. So that's why the value of the dollar. So I asked the young man, I say, bro, so Bitcoin was created to pivot into another actual currency or another legal tender for making purchases of goods and services. They created Bitcoin to try to pivot away from the dollar. And so what everybody do, they get all this Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin price, I think, is up to 60,000 something on the stock market, on the stock exchange, 60,000 something per Bitcoin. I say, okay, so nobody's really accepting Bitcoin unless you go somewhere international. They may be letting you make purchases with Bitcoin, but in America, for the most part, these banks ain't having it. The banks still got it locked. The banks still got the what they call it, the what they call it, the central banking system, which is controlled by our Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve is not a part of the United States. Anything that does not have the United States in the name, family, that means it is a creation. It is a business or a corporation that runs under a sub name of the government. So I was telling the young man, I say, so what do you do when you get your Bitcoin and you're ready to cash out your Bitcoin? What do you do? You see how we listening to crickets right now and static? He got quiet. I said, yeah, what do you do once you got your Bitcoin and you ready to go exchange your Bitcoin? You got all this Bitcoin you done popped off on, you up, and you've been buying and buying and buying, and now you want to get ready to sell and exchange your Bitcoin. What do you exchange it in? How do you get out the Bitcoin? He said, well, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna go get some, I'm gonna take it, you ain't gonna go to the bank, the bank ain't gonna give you shit. I said, how you gonna exchange the money? He told me, oh, I'm gonna get, I said, what are you exchanging? He said, I'm gonna exchange the dollars. I say, so what was the fucking point? If you was trying to get away from the dollar, why are you going back into the dollar? You get what I'm saying? So you can, on screen, it may look beautiful. You got all this Bitcoin, this digital currency, but bro, it is a Ponzi scheme, and that is still being controlled by the Federal Reserve and the central banking system and the banks and the banksters around the world. They try to make it seem as if these servers are running all the Bitcoin. They call it the blockchain. And all these servers are what's, I'm like, bro, you delusional. You delusional, bro. That is not true. I say, so at the end of the day, Bitcoin's, he gonna tell me where he went to school and he learned. I say, bro, I didn't go to no damn school for learning any type of financial literacy. And I got great financial literacy because I read and I research and I pay attention to the global markets. I'm also involved in socio-economic and social global implications around. I know news. I have all type of alternative news sources that I pay attention to. So I'm not bragging, but I was just trying to tell the young man, this is how blind our people are, bro. We'll sleep, and absolutely what you're saying, Professor, is true. We are going to be roadkill on the digital transformation highway because for the simple fact, we don't think outside of the box. We're not outside of the box thinkers. We're not critical thinkers. Like you were saying earlier about the church, they don't know how to critical think. We had a young man that 12-year-old young man took his life the other day. That's 2 deaths within a week from young boys in Lake Wales. And nobody's coming to do any type of critical thinking sessions. All it is more prayer, which if the Creator already done gave you the energy to go and solve your problems, why are you still praying? Why are you still praying? And I think some of my constituents we were speaking about that the other day. People want to all the time put it on God and put it on prayer because they're too lazy to enact any type of substantive solutions. Anything, they're not engaged in the right way, so they're not getting any type of results. So chime in that. We're gonna wrap it up here, Professor, and give me a follow-up on that.
Right. So let me piggyback on that, the financial situation. So now, and this is really important, and I hope you folks really listen to me real clear on this. So that same young man, once he figured out what you've been trying to tell him, now he's in a financial desperation situation, which most black men are going to be put in, okay? Now you're out here trapping. Now you're out here doing stuff.
No, this ain't even a trap type dude. This is a dude who has master degrees.
I understand, but
but he's dumb as a box of rocks when it comes to financial literacy.
But here's what I'm trying to tell you, Dr. Juice.
Go ahead.
With this digital transformation, think about it. There were crackheads that had master's degree. There were people up. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? When this financial situation is going to impact everybody. People, it don't matter if you went to somebody's college. That's going out the window. Hell, you go to YouTube University and learn something. But here's my point, right quick, before I learn. So you're in this financial desperation, okay? The middle class is being just sucked out of the society. When you get into this financial situation, you're gonna start doing stuff. It's just like all of this PPP fraud, all this kind of stuff going on. I want you to know that these people got law enforcement technology that will blow your mind. And when you look at this case, that we have in Atlanta with what's that boy? Young somebody, young Joe, young, are they all, they're either little or they're young. But anyway, or they're little and young.
Any type of name that means them, they go for it.
Yeah. But here's my point right quick. The incarceration rate among black men is going to go through the roof. And some of those people that you're showing, they're going to replace you. Look at that. They want to work. Anybody that's willing to do that right there, you know, most black people, you can't get them out of bed on time. Look at these people. Mm. So now you're going to be fighting over resources. You'll be fighting over resources. And because you don't have the skill set to function in this society, you're going to fall into a booby trap. So make no mistake about this, Dr. Juice. Digital law enforcement is on a whole nother level, sir. We ain't talking about pulling somebody over.
Look at the black Democrats fighting for them, but they won't fight for you like that. This Maxine Waters, she's a representative out in California, black Democrat, but they ain't coming to the border for you like that.
Boule, as you would call them.
Go ahead.
So what I would like to emphasize, you're gonna have to pivot out of the box in an innovative fashion. It can't be traditional. It can't be traditional. And see, the Democrats, they want them votes.
Nope.
They don't set them people up
they
to
want them votes. Yeah. Let me make it simple. Every one of these people you see sneaking across the border, coming across the border, that's one of your black asses gotta leave or gotta go or gotta suffer. Put it like that. I know you know how to count, right?
Yeah.
And that's what they do. They bring the kids in. See how they let the ones kids, they'll let the ones with the little babies. And a lot of times them babies not even their babies. You got literally immigrants that let them use their baby, cross over into the country illegally. They know if you got a small child with you, a toddler like this lady right here, you got a small child with you, then they won't send you back.
All I'm saying is, Dr. Juice. Yeah, all I'm saying is, Dr. Juice, you're looking at displacement, okay? There's no other way to put it.
Yeah. There's
nowhere to put it. So when you get into an economic desperate situation, what are you gonna do? This guy you talk about with his college degree, what are you gonna do? Who are you gonna work for?
Exactly. Who are you gonna work for? Next show, I'm gonna show everybody all the numbers of job cuts per week that's happening in America that you're not hearing about, that the news is suppressing. This news, they're not giving you this information. I'm talking over 10, 20,000 jobs per week are being cut in America.
Dr. Juice, here's the number. There's going to be a 20% workforce production between now and 2025, sir. And check this out, Dr. Juice. I posted, I can pull it up. Only 3% black businesses in America right now. Only 3%. I'm going to pull that up right quick. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. 3%. I just want to pull that up right quick.
All right, hurry up. You're about to close it out.
Here we go. Pull it up. Let me share my screen. Here we go. Just want to leave you with this. Think about this. Here you go. Can you see that, Dr. Juice?
Yes, sir.
So they say about 3% of U.S. businesses were black or African American owned in 2021. So what are the 97% doing? They're working for somebody. So if you don't have a business of some sort, you're done. You're done.
Done for.
You're done. but start a business. That's all I can say.
Wow.
It's gonna be
Okay.
It's gonna be the black. Here's what I'm trying to tell you. It's gonna be the you're already in it, but it's gonna be the Great Black Depression.
Correct. So our professor just gave y'all the depression and the energy that's giving depression from illegal immigration.
The Great Black Depression.
It's gonna be another Great Black Depression 2024. You heard it here at Urban Matters Matter. And I'm your gracious host, Dr. Juice. We got our professor in the building, Professor Voss Computer Systems. Y'all go check my man's out. Also, y'all go check us out at Lincoln Avenue Herald. Also, Lincoln Avenue Herald Business Forum. Also, y'all go check us out at Urban Matters Matter live chat at YouTube. Also, you can find us on Instagram at Urban Matters Matter. I'm your gracious host, Dr. Juice. Signing off again.
Hey, Breezy, cut that shit up. Hey, Breezy, cut that shit up.